Once upon a time, there was a pitch-black castle. It was made of solid granite, and its towers scraped the sky. Living in the castle was a red-robed sorcerer with magic in his fingertips and fire in his eyes, and a small boy in his employ. This small boy, the sorcerer's apprentice, was supposed to feed the cats and scrape the boots, and tame the bats and boil the newts, and pound the powder for poison chowder, and help the sorcerer change the silvery moonlight into ink, which was fun, and scrub the sink, which was not fun. After all, said the small boy, grumbling to himself as he brushed an ancient beetle off a crumbling kitchen shelf, I'm supposed to be a sorcerer's apprentice, not some general castle worker. I like to help the sorcerer change the moonlight into ink, but what do I do mostly? Scrub the sink. Besides that, I also have to cast the wine and sweep the hall and keep the shine on the crystal ball and breed the culture to feed the vulture who sits on the sorcerer's head when he casts a spell. But what do I do mostly? Go to the well. 12 times a day I have to go to the well to fetch water for the master, when that scruffy old broom in the corner of the room could fetch it twice as easily and surely fetch it faster, if only the right words were said to it. As a matter of fact, I know all of those words. The master's away for the whole of the day. There's nobody near me to hear what I say. Nobody will see. The master's away for the whole of the day. The apprentice will play, and the broom will obey. That broom will work for me. I think. A broom! A broom! A new broom! To stick, to swing, lean! Go fetch water. You heard what I said. Go fetch water. Right this minute. Please. The broom began to move. Gliding down the staircase, bouncing on the floors, sliding through the portal to the bleak outdoors, pushing through the marsh grass, marching through the swamp, swishing through the forest with a stomp, 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 went the broom on its way to the well. It filled the pail and started home triumphantly. But the sorcerer's apprentice, mad with his own power and more than a little impatient, said, "It's about time! What took you so long? I've been waiting here for hours, and I have to wash the warthog and water all the flowers, and cast the wine and sweep the hall, and keep the shine on the crystal ball, and breathe the culture to feed the vulture that sits on the sorcerer's head and casts the spell. Get back to the well! Go fetch more water!" enough, said the boy. Don't bring me anymore. That'll be just fine. That's plenty. Now go back to your corner like a good broom. I only want pots and pans filled to the top. You're filling up the basement. Stop, please. Stop. Stop, broom. Stop. The apprentice was dripping and mopping his brow, but there was no stopping him now. He didn't know how. Gliding down the staircase, bouncing on the floors, sliding through the portal and the outdoors went two grooves. Pushing through the marsh grass, marching through the swamp, swishing through the forest with a stop, 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 went two grooves back over the wall. Soon the water was very clear, splashing to the ground, roaring through the castle with a deafening sound, like a sound of long last, the sorcerer had returned. He raised his great arms above his head, and to both grooms he very simply said, "Thank you." The magic formula, which began with a T, not a B or a C or a D, worked instantly. The flood receded, and the runaway brooms, without a peep, went to 2 separate rooms and went to sleep. To the small boy in his employ, the kind-hearted sorcerer in robes of red said, "If you're going to make magic, may I strongly recommend you don't start anything you don't know how to end. You'll know all my secrets by the time that you are grown, and you have a castle with a tower all of your own. But in the meantime, though it's far too late now to feed the cats and scrape the roots and take the bats and boil the mince and pound the powder for poison chowder and polish the kitchen sink, if you'd like to learn to change the silvery moonlight into ink, I'll teach you the spell. But tomorrow, you